Wagwan. You've been listening to me this whole time, but that's not the end of the world. And oh, my microphone is falling down. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? And welcome back to BRL. We are here for round 5 in Great Britain. I'm very sorry for the delay. We've had an absolute nightmare so far. The good old F1ology. Um, pardon me, F1ology kicked us all out of the what's it? Of the thingy. So I've just had to sign myself back in. Anyway, we haven't got very long until the start of the race, so I'm going to have to run through this very quickly. Here is the main screen today. Here is the grid, because we are doing a sprint race. We've got the 25% race, 25% sprint race, 50% main race, or 50% either way around. It's a short sprint race and a 50% race, as per usual. We have got, hopefully, a pretty good event. So we've got Blackbone, Resurrection, Hazard, Pablos, Danksman, and it's pretty decent lineup. And then with Mr. Cookie and Bonium sort of towards the bottom. Mr. Cookie, I believe, running the championship at the moment, but we ought to very, very quickly check. We've got about 30 seconds before we get going. This is the biggest rush I've ever been in my entire life. Here we go. Yes, Mr. Cookie is leading the championship with J Horse in P2, though he won't probably be for very long because he is leaving us for 6 weeks. Exotic, our Henson, J Thompson, Kresnos. It's a pretty decent grid, actually. But Mr. Cookie is running away with it a little bit. Mercedes running away with the championship a little bit with McLaren in P2 and Red Bull in P3. Good fight between Red Bull and Ferrari at the moment. I'd like to see how that progresses over the next couple of races. Now you join me back in Silverstone as we get ready to go sprint racing. Wow, I think I summarised that pretty quickly, if I do say so myself, considering the fact that the preparation has been, well, everything was prepared, and then I got kicked out of everything. So we're all right. We're all right. We're okay, and we can breathe. So how are we? I do apologise. I haven't been here for a little while. I can't remember why. Now, I had a football match last week. I think the week before that was when I was ill. Yeah. Either way, we got 5 red lights as we get ready to go racing. We are finally away, and the Alpine gets off to a pretty decent start, and my controller isn't working is because I haven't actually clicked on the main screen, and whoa, hell's broken loose, but Blackburn has managed to get himself into the lead of Resurrection, falling down a couple of places. He's going to try and go up the inside. Don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off, and I've just noticed we've got absolutely no sound whatsoever coming out of it. Hopefully you've got some sound now. I do think you do. Hopefully it's not too loud either, though it does kind of look it. That's really bloody loud, actually. Yeah, I'm going to set it to about there and hope that that's all right. Resurrection, sorry, Pablos just getting past there. He's going to swoop round the outside. I think he ghosted just for a moment there, cutting through the inside of the Alpha Tauri. No, sorry, the Hassi is the Alpha Tauri, and he tried to go for a little switchback on the Alpine there, but it's not going to quite get work, and he's going to have to try and go down the inside at Cop's first lap of the day, and the Alpine just about stays in one piece, though did go off the track. Hopefully he hasn't picked up a warning for that, because there wasn't really much place for him to go. We got 9 laps of the sprint race, and then we'll go into the full race. Ferrari just behind Aramleth, trying to get himself up through the grid as quickly as possible. And this is going to be bloody close. Look at the Haas. He's absolutely flown up the inside there, and he has just about made it work. But the Ferrari's going to try and capitalise on the two fighting, and he's done so marvellously as we go 3 wide into Club. Well, who's going to come out on top? I believe it's going to be the Haas. He's going to have the inside line here. Gets slightly up onto the curve and just loses the back end because of that loss of downforce going up on the curve, and that allows the Alpine to sweep through their Resurrection, holding P5 for now. Haas in the P6, so Jelena and Stolsby's in P7 out of that fight. And the Alpine getting a little bit sideways, has managed to get the grip back though, and has stayed in position. That's allowed the Williams. They do collide, and that sends the Haas deep into the shadow realm of non-existence. And now we got an Alpine spinning round on the back, is it the back? I don't know which one's the back straight, to be honest. Either way, through the Wellington straight, now coming up to Woodcote. Yes, I believe so. This is Woodcote. Yeah, it is. See, I'm slowly learning my corners. I'm slowly learning them. It takes me a while though. It does take me a while, and you will learn. I'm not very good at corner names, but I try my hardest, especially at Silverstone. It is, of course, my home race, and it's probably the home race of quite a few drivers here as well, being this is a primarily English league. It's definitely an English-speaking one, that is for certain. Though, if I'm being totally honest, that makes absolutely no difference the vast majority of the time. Big mistake there from the AlphaTauri. That's going to allow Blackbone to try and go up the inside. Does he get it done? Yes, he does, very nicely as well. So Blackbone into P2. Pablos holding P3 for now, and it's a horrible line through that final corner. And that is just going to lose him so much time going into turn 1. Now, pretty much everybody fairly sort of straightened out. Our Henson, Stinky Pinky and Jay Thompson having rather rough starts to the race. Mr. Cookies managed to get himself up through quite a lot of the pack so far. P7 for our current championship leader. So he'll be hoping to just progress as much as possible. And just in front of him, we've got a Williams having a nice scrap with an Aston Martin. Star Wars Beast trying to go for the move. He's going to have to go all the way around the outside at Luffield. Can he get it done? Quite possibly, but I think the Aston Martin just getting the slightly better exit. Yes, he does. And through Woodcote they go, and it is going to be the Aston Martin in P5. Star Wars having to hold P6 for now. It's a shame. Saturday is Star Wars Beast's favourite day of the year, I can only imagine. Because it's May 4th. We will really be hoping that the 4th is with him right now as he tries to build his way up through the grid. But unfortunately, Mr. Cookie, the dark side in black, seems to swoop through and get himself up into P6. Those Red Bull tyres are looking an awful lot like a rather nasty hallway scene in Rogue One, which I think we can all agree is the best thing Disney have done with that franchise. Quite a few people starting to put down some fastest times. Indigo lost his fastest time after the last lap and then regained it almost immediately. We've got a fight for the front, so I think that's probably worth watching because Blackbone has just managed to sneak his way up into the lead of the race. Hazard holding on to P2 for now by his teammate Pablos just behind. This fighting could as well allow Aramalev to try and close in as well as Indigo because he's going to try and go for a move, and the two AlphaTauris are going to swap round during that corner, and they don't seem to be interested in swapping around just very soon. Indigo has managed to get past Aramalev as well, so those two have swapped round, and it is just swap at the front of the grid. So it's something we really do have to keep our eye on at the moment because it's beginning to turn. Whoa, that AlphaTauri running extremely wide there. Had a very, very nasty cops corner, and that is going to kind of put him out of the fight a little bit, heading through the hangar straight. Yeah, I can't really see him getting involved in this fight at all. In fact, if anything, I think he's going to probably have to try and defend from the Aston Martin behind him. Indigo keeping pace with him. In front, though, the AlphaTauri of Pablos is trying to go for that position, but does, in the end, decide to back out. Blackbone electing to get quite a nice move actually round the outside, and he held his position nicely, and then with the inside corner just after that, and also having the inside at the next corner after, I'm unsurprised that Pablos decided to hold back and not go for the move. Anyway, just behind, and this mid pack is rampant of people. It is so busy. I mean, it's things we love to see. We love to see busy. Busy is best, as I think Indigo is going to try and go for a move. So is Pablos. He's gone for a move for the lead of the race. He's got it done. Indigo is trying to go for a move on Hazard. Can he get it swoop round the outside at Luffield? Indeed he can. It's a bit of a drag race through Woodcote, but the Aston Martin does indeed get himself into the position. But I think the AlphaTauri could possibly have a good enough opportunity here to try and go through. No, he doesn't get a good enough toe through Cops Corner, or well through the national pit straight and into Cops Corner. And Blackbone doing pretty decently there through Magnus and Beckett's, and will have a good opportunity to go for the AlphaTauri. He's going to try and go around the outside. Interestingly enough as well, I've just noticed Blackbone on a medium set of tyres in comparison to everybody else's set of softs, and he's putting a very, very good fight in. So Blackbone, a very, really good run for him at the moment, actually. I can only commemorate it, considering the fact that literally every other driver, bar what, 1, 2, 3 are on softs, and the other two are miles off. Oh no, the other three. Sorry. Yeah, because Joe Thompson. Yeah, sorry. Was it 12th, 14th, and 17th? And he is currently winning the race on mediums with everybody on softs behind him. I don't think he's going to be leading the race for particularly long, though, because Pablos is going to go for a move here. Gets it done pretty nicely as well. Nothing to complain about for the AlphaTauri driver. He just needs to try and hold on to that position to the best of his ability. But Indigo and Mr. Cookie are beginning to get in on this fight. That gap between Blackbird and Indigo now closed to just under 0.4 of a second, which is certainly within striking distance with bit of help from a DRS and maybe a fight just in front. In fact, now that's down to less than 1/10 of a second. It was there for a second going through Beckett's. So this is a great opportunity for the Aston Martin to try and go for a move, but I think he's also going to have to worry about Mr. Cookie just in front of him. Blackbone is going to swoop round the outside. I wasn't going to say try and go for a move, but he managed to go. He went for it. He absolutely sent it, and it's pulled off marvelously for him. So the Williams driver back into the lead of the race for now. Pablos holding P2. Indigo and Mr. Cookie haven't moved much the last couple of laps. They'll be hoping to try and get a place gained or two over the course of the next 3 laps of racing, because that's all we have left. Only 3 more laps, and this Sam has gone out. And where? Oh, he's gone spinning off to the left-hand side just before hitting the Hamilton straight. And that will see him fall to the bottom. But it's not to worry. It might have been a point or two lost here or there. That's even if he was in the points to begin with. Either way, it means that he is going to be starting the main race from last place. Blackbone in P1 currently. And he's going to probably be hold on to it out of this corner exit. He's managed to get a fairly good run through here. But this is definitely now at least a minimum fight for 3, if not a fight for 4 for first. If that's tongue twister, I don't know what is. Mr. Cookie, though, just sort of hanging on to the edge of it. He's not quite as sort of up and in the business as everybody else, but he's certainly there, with Bonium just behind as well. Let's see how this plays out. I think Miss Cookie is going to try and go for a move on Indigo, who's going to try and go for a move on the AlphaTauri, who's going to try and go for a move on Blackbone. Blackbone holds it nicely around the outside. We'll have the inside for the next corner. Gets on the brakes pretty nicely and holds it. AlphaTauri trying to go for the switchback move, and goes spinning round the Williams car. That is going to fall down. He goes. He's going to pick up P9 and it's going to fall another place. As getting unghosted at a very unfortunate time there. So that gives Pablos the lead of the race. Bonium has managed to sneak past the Aston Martin of Indigo. So Indigo pushed down to P4. I say pushed down. Oh no, he has been pushed down a place because he was P3 for a large quantity of time. So now 2 laps remain, and it's still a 4-way fight. It's just we've swapped. What's it? Blackbone for Bonium. And to be fair, if Hazard can sort of close that gap a little bit, definitely could be a huge fight here right at the end of the race. Mr. Cookie having a little look down the inside there. Just heading towards Copse Corner, elected against it. Wise idea. Mercedes and the inside of Copse Corner, never a good mix, as we learnt frivolously just, 3 years ago, coming up to 3 years in the next couple of months. So Mr. Cookie, big string of DRS now, is going to go for the move, going to go round the outside. And oh, God, Red Bull tried to go down the inside of them, went horribly wrong. He got sandwiched and got sent flying into the barrier. Indigo has managed to absolutely steal 3 places here as that kerfuffle went down. So, hang on, I'm going to try and explain what's happened there. Mercedes has gone round the outside, Pablos down the inside. They thought they were going too wide through the corner, and then all of a sudden pops in a Red Bull straight down the middle of them. Then the space for the Red Bull disappears faster than a Mrs. McCann, and then it all goes wrong. Mr. Cookie and Pablos still alive. The Red Bull is alive, but down in P12. So fighting with Blackbone actually. So they've met up once again. Styles Beast managed to get past Hazard, but isn't really in this fight. So we've got half a lap remaining because we're just coming down the national pit straight. Through Cops goes Indigo. So we got one more Mangas and Beckett's, one more Hanger straight, and then that final stretch of Sector 3 to finish us off. This is probably the most important one of will definitely. How the hell has Pablos had such a horrendous Maggers and Beckett? Star Wars Beast has managed to get himself through. Mr. Cookie can't quite make it, heading up through Stowe. They're going to now run into Vale and Club, or Club and Vale. I never remember which way round it is, but I do believe it's going to be Indigo, so long as he doesn't mess up this final corner. Indeed he doesn't. He comes across to win the sprint race. Mr. Cookie secures P2 from very low down on the grid. Star Wars Beast in the end P3. Pablos P4 has a P5. Cadet P6. Aramilef P7. Exotic P8. Crescent P9. Caden P10. Bonian P11. Blackburn P12. Resurrection P13. J Thompson P14. Jailninia, yeah, P15, R. Henson, P16, Stinky Pinky, P17, and Nissam, P18. Right, I'm going to be back in just a moment's time. Alrighty, I am back, and we're looking at a very, very sunny Silverstone, which is, as far as I'm concerned, rare for Silverstone. I don't live massively far from it. I've been a couple of times, and it's been, of the like 5 times I've been, it's been sunny once. So this is lucky. This is a potluck. All is kicking off. Sorry, I've just been reading. All is kicking off in Tier 1 General, which is, stuff we do not like to see. But that doesn't really matter because we got 5 red lights. Well, we got 5 red lights now. And now we don't, and we are indeed away. Indigo's gotten off to a pretty good start, having won the race. Mr. Cookie gets in P2 and is holding it for now. Star Wars Beast a little bit of the way off of those two, so it's going to be pretty neutral heading into turn 1. No major moves at the front. It's absolute pandemonia at the back, though. Everybody's moving in a million different ways, and I can't really understand what's going on. There is just cars everywhere and flying all over the gaff. But I believe if we pull this up, we'll definitely see some big winners and big losers, like Katet, who's down 4 places at the moment, has just managed to gain another one just in front. Red Bull swinging it round the outside, and he's got Alpha Tauri Hazard just on the inside. They're going to continue that run down onto the main straight. In fact, I'm going to follow him into Cop's corner because I believe the Alpha Tauri just cuts across the Rebel, tried to go for the switchback at Cops, which is bloody brave as far as I'm concerned, and he hasn't quite pulled it off, but he's still up 2 places, so he can't really complain about that start to the race. Big winners though. no big winners. Pretty much everybody up sort of 2 places except for Cadet down 4. Cadem down 6 after starting 10th. He's currently P16, and Mr. Cookie has triumphed his way up into the lead of the race on lap 1 of 26. So it's going to be a long 25 laps. And Stinky Pinky, ladies and gentlemen, out of the race. Virtual safety car. That is a big, big accident. Not sure what caused it, but Jesus. That's nasty. That's a nasty, nasty crash. Anyway, he's gone. And I imagine we're going to see something pop up in just a moment's time on Tier 1 General from Stinky Pinky, because I'd love to know what on earth happened there. He's gone absolutely flying into the right-hand side just before pit entry. Couple of people pitting. Boney, Amar, Henson and Cadem. Don't blame them. Under the safety car. Really, really important to try and pit at Silverstone. Because it is, I believe it's the longest pit straight, or the longest time lost in the pit lane. Because it's the longest time that you're at a slow speed for. But we have gone back to being green again. You can tell that just cars are absolutely flying now. Mr. Cookie has nearly escaped DRS there for a moment, but has sort of been caught a little bit sort of down that straight. It's a good 3/10 chopped off. So that is Mr. Cookie's task for Sector 3 and Sector 1, escape DRS. Because DRS is, of course, activated next lap, so that'll certainly be interesting. And look at this, Kresnos and Exotic Words going side by side now into the final corner. Who's going to hold the place? And little bit of contact made there. The Alfa Romeo having to resort to going up onto the curb. One place you really do not want to go is that curb. We've seen how damaging it can be already. Seen people going absolutely flying off there. But he's managed to survive, albeit having lost the place. He'll be working hard to try and resurrect that. Now with DRS open, it's a completely different ball game. I believe Kresnos is going to go for the move. Can he get it done? Indeed he can, very nicely and all. Hooking it to the right, not leaving space for the switchback. Good work by Kresnos. Pablos right on the back of Star Wars Beast, who is right on the back of Indigo. So this is a brilliant fight for 2 of the podium positions, because Pablos is getting in on... Pablos in on the fight as well. So Indigo, Star Wars and Pablos. Good scrap with Mr. Cookie. Just a little bit ahead as well. That if that gap closes between Cookie and Indigo, this is a 4-way fight for the podium positions, which we will... what we like to call in the business as nice. That is a nice situation to have. Currently no major moves taking place, and I don't really blame anybody because it's risky to go for a move like this. Exotic is literally right on the back of that AlphaTauri. I mean, he was touching the gearbox as far as I'm concerned. That diffuser was being sort of nudged by the front wing, and the Red Bull, you could see the rear end just completely let loose. Somehow he's managed to hold it, and fair play to him for doing so. I've got to say, the only issue that I find with Silverstone is just a lot of on-board shots. Like, if I want to go on board, I'll go on board. It'd be quite nice, though, to sort of be able to sort of chop and choose which camera angles I use. That would be good fun. You could do that in other games. Project Cars 2. Really good for its camera angles because you can just choose which ones it does. So if you don't want a particular camera angle, if you don't want, say, this T-cam, or you don't want the one which is right on the front wing, you just deselect it and then it just doesn't alternate to that one. It's very handy, very, very helpful. So, as of right now on the Western Front, it is pretty quiet. Star Wars Beast and Pablos, though I do say that, are going down the inside. Does the AlphaTauri indeed go and gets it done at Stowe? That rhymed. Oh, a poet, and I didn't even know it. Anyway, moving on from whatever that was, Mr. Cookie is still a little bit under threat. He still hasn't managed to break that DRS. I think he gets fairly close to breaking it, and then they hit a straight and he gets reeled in, and then he kind of gets close to breaking it, and then they hit a straight and reel in. Right, and it is a bit rinse and repeat after that. But he can always he can survive. We know Cookie. We know that once upon a time, we used to joke about the fact that he was called Mr. Cookie because he loved to crumble every good opportunity he got. Whoa, this is close between Hazard and Exotic. Let's see how this goes down. Hazard at the moment leading. Can Exotic hold it to the inside? Maybe get a good run through Woodkit and maybe a move into Cops? No, I think the Rebel just losing too much speed down that straight. Really, that gap begins to grow so quickly. But then look at that through the corner, through Cops. The Red Bull just catching up, so you can clearly see which ones put on a top speed setup and which ones put on a fast corner setup. Because that Red Bull, rapid. It's going to go 3 wide. It's going to go 3 wide into Stowe. This is just terrible things happen here. Red Bull is going to be able to get past the AlphaTauri, but Aramalev soars through past both of them. Holds P6 for now. The two of them now going into Vale. And the Red Bull holding its place. You know what, right? I'm bored of being incorrect about these corners. So I'm going to go and grab my book. It will be 30 seconds. I hope not happened. I don't think it has, to be honest. Mr. Cookie's still leading. Indigo is still P2. Pablos is still P3. Star Wars. Rest on Salmon F. Yeah, nothing's changed. Much. Anyway, I have an book. And you'd think, like, it's great. It's like, it's still got Sochi in it. Like, it's from, what, 2021? That's a 2021 Mercedes. So, yeah, 2021. End of the 21 season, start of 22. And I've got Silverstone 58. I've never actually used this on a race day, but I get this like full double page spread of Silverstone. Who can it be now? What song are we singing? I don't get this joke. Anyway, this is close to battle. Right, I can pop this on my desk. A nice big sheet. We got a yellow flag in sectors 1 and 3. I think a couple of people retired. Bonium retiring from the session in the pit lane. Not quite sure why, but has elected to retire. Anyway, so we are currently going through Maggots, Beckett's, and then... Hold on a minute. Is it literally just called Maggots, Beckett's 1, Beckett's 2, Beckett's 3? Chapel. That's quite cool. And then obviously, hang us straight into Stowe. We go down the hill into Vale. I'm getting good at this. And then it is... I believe Vale is then 16 and 17. And then Club is that corner there. And then obviously onto the Hamilton straight. Yeah, I'm pretty much right. I always forget this one. It's Village. Village. I always forget that. And then going through the loop now. Pablos looking a bit dangerous. Can he get a good enough exit through Aintree? and get on the DRS, he will. But the only issue is the Williams in front also has DRS, so no benefit comes of it. This is the issue with DRS trains. The Aston Martin has just made one of the worst cornering decisions of all time. Is going to back up the Williams through Luffield and is going to allow Pablos through. Very strange tactics from Indigo, having lost so much time to Mr. Cookie. He's now out of DRS, which means Cookie, whoa, the Williams running really wide there, Star Wars, which gives Cookie a good opportunity to try and break free of DRS, but I don't think he's going to do it because now, heading through Chapel, now, I think they've still got DRS. Yeah, Indigo's still just about managed DRS there. What's Indigo doing? He's all over the gaff. I could have sworn Indigo was just right on the inside there. That's just why. Armalev, though, he's just been overtaken and is trying to get the place back. The Red Bull coming into... Oh, this is very, very close. But the Ferrari just not quite able to hold on to that place. The Red Bull getting through there. Exotic, very nicely done through Stowe. This is pretty close, you know. Let's watch this. That's running into Village. I mean, what was pole time? No pole. This was a sprint race. So it was based on the reverse championship order. I think this is the only sprint race we have this year. Oh, this season, sorry. Because we're only doing an eight race calendar. So yeah, it's determined off of the reverse championship order. So the person who started on pole, so to speak, was, for the sprint race anyway, Blackbone. And then who was on it to begin with? I believe it was Pablos. No, it wasn't. It was Indigo. Indigo started the race in the lead and is just about to take P2. No, retake P2. Yeah, he's just lost it and has retaken it. So he's off to a really good start. Mr. Cookie started P2 and took P1 on lap 1 and has held it since. So, yeah, Mr. Cookie absolutely flying. Obviously, currently leading the championship. So, something we would, yeah, theoretically expect. Though, I was expecting him to have pulled away more than 1.1 by now. Especially considering the fact that he's out of the DRS zone. I'd have been expecting him to make a bit more of it than he has been so far. He's sort of just been loitering a little bit. But, I mean, you can't complain. They're all on the hard set of tyres, so it's not like he's in too much trouble. Krasnos might be in a little bit of trouble, considering the fact that he's on mediums. People around, literally everyone else around him on hards. You have to go down to Resurrection to find the next person on a medium set of tyres. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 1 for no apparent reason as far as I can tell. I think 2 cars went sideways and slowed down a little bit. And that warranted a yellow flag. It didn't. But oh well. Right. What we got? We got a Red Bull who is under quite a bit of threat. These two have been fighting like mad. I've got to say, I appreciate the battle because at least it's been adding something with a little bit of spice to this race. Armalev getting through there at Stowe. It's just a shame that most of the fighting, I swear, the vast majority of overtakes that have happened today, Stowe. Stowe is the corner to overtake because you get Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel all to hunt down the... To be fair, from Luffield, you come out of Luffield, you go down that little straight into Woodcote, then you go down the National Pit Straight, then you've got Cops, which is just a small lift, that mini straight, Maggots and Beckett's, a little bit of slowing down, especially for 12 and 13, the last 2 corners, 13 especially, and then Chapel's flat, all of the hanger straight, and then it leads into a perfect opportunity at Stowe. It takes, from corner 7 to 15 to make a move. Yeah, and they say F1 cars, yeah, really maneuverable, really racy. Oh, they're not. I think Pablos has got a move going here. He has indeed. He fakes to the left, goes to the inside. Once again, at Stowe, move made. So Pablos back up into P2. Styles Beast just holding off at the back of these guys. Needs to get himself involved in this fight. Haven't seen him make an overtake in a little while. My only worry is what happens if, you know, you can say, oh yeah, no, I don't need to make an overtake right now. I can do it later on down the line. What if that opportunity doesn't present itself? What if they slowly start pulling away? Had you have gotten that overtake, you would have maybe killed a bit of their tyres. You might have wasted a little bit of their time. They might not have been as fast. They might have been a bit out of sorts. Just honestly, when I say in F1, especially at 50% race, 100% race is different. But at 50% race, you've got to take every opportunity for an overtake you get. Obviously, that doesn't mean if it's a lunge, go for it. You know, be sensible about it. But if an opportunity stares you in the face, probably a good idea to take it. As far as I'm concerned, so long as it doesn't mean you will be murdering somebody, you know, how bad can it be? How bad can it be? Blackbone is right on the back of Cadets. Williams versus Aston Martin going through Copse Corner. These are the closest drivers to one another on the grid at the moment. We have got quite a lot of people in no man's land, which is always a shame. I don't like people being in no man's land. I want battles. Oh dear, what's happened to Paz? Pablos is in the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Pablos is in the wall, out of Stowe. Don't know what's happened there. Chaos, and it's a pit, immediate pit for Pablos, unsurprisingly. Comes into the pit, he's going to have to do a little bit of a longer stint on the mediums than he would have hoped for. And of course, he's lost so much time. So much time. That is really not very good for Pablos, I've got to say. Resurrection in as well. He's on a set of mediums going onto a set of hards. So, yeah, they're just going to be quite worn out for Pablos by the time he gets to the end of the race, and he will be rather frustrated. I can't say, oh, yeah, he was crashed into. I wasn't watching it. I can't say, oh, yeah, he just spun, because I wasn't watching it. But even if it's either of them, I doubt he's going to be particularly happy about it. Indigo has picked up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Oh dear. Joining Exotic on that penalty, and he's picked up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. He doesn't have a front wing. He seems rather angry, hence the 5-second corner cutting penalty. Does break just about in time. Just, yeah, leave it late. And dives into the pit lane, and he's got a lot of time to make up. Launches it in, so 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane and an immediate DNF. So that is Indigo out of this race. So wow, we've gone from having a really tight fight up at the top to nothing. To absolutely nothing in the way of a fight at the front, which is so depressing. One slam into the wall. Oh no. Oh yeah, this is a fight. Resurrection and Cadem going side by side, just about leaving enough space. Jesus, that was close. I think the DNF of Indigo just held up Red Bull. I think it held up Exotic, so Exotic's going to be most annoyed at that. Jelena up 10 places, may I say. Has he made a stop yet? No. Oh well. Fair few people now made a stop. Just over half the grid, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, just over half the grid. Right, probably this is quite a good point now to go for tyres and talk about our tyre choices. Because Mr. Cookie's come into pit. He's got 4.5 seconds on everybody now. Though he's not going to have it for particularly long. Though, to be fair, Star Wars, RLF, Jelena's coming in. So's Hazard. So's Blackbone. Everyone's on the same strategy. I imagine Jay Thompson will join them as well, though, coming in very late. Kresnos staying out. He's going for the overcut. Kresnos has already picked. That's why he picked 2 laps ago. This is huge for Kresnos because he could. I think he's going to jump pretty much everybody. Yeah, everyone bar Mr. Cookie. Kresnos jumps to P2, which I can tell you for free was not where he was to begin with. So, hugely beneficial for Kresnos, albeit on hards and 3-lap old hards, even if he loses a place or two. Honestly, you cannot complain because like P5 is super, super solid. Oh, we need to find a fight. Well, look at Jelena. Well, that's a fight and a half. Jesus. Right, Jelena is going down the inside. Oh, no, sorry. Hazard, sorry, is going. I don't actually know what's going on. Everything's happening and I don't really understand it. AlphaTauri around the outside. Haas on the inside. Haas defending, I believe, the AlphaTauri, trying to go for the move. Still going side by side now through Woodker on to the main straight. Onto the national pit. Now through Cops. Is it going to be death? Somehow no, but I think AlphaTauri not winning that battle right now. Hazard holding P9 for now. Jelena holding P8 with Resurrection just above in P7. Exotic getting past RLF for I think about the 18th time. Jelena getting himself past a Resurrection, and Hazard does so as well, or at least tries to. At the same time, it's going to be slightly more challenging for him to get past, but he does indeed do so. Right, sort of heading into Vale. Now, what now? That's quite a good question, actually. What now? I say we carry on watching this lot, you know. This is the closest battle we got. By far and away. Our Henson 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's currently P14 and unlikely for that to affect him unless he's already got 3 sets of those penalties. And then he is in trouble a little bit. A little bit. That is not something I've ever said before. New words are forming out of my mouth and it's Shakespearean, if I'm honest. I never really get that. Here we go. This tells you how not racing the racing is at the moment. If Shakespeare made up a load of words, right, and he like formed the English language as to what we know it is today, how did anybody in the audience understand what on earth was going on? How did any of the actors understand what if this man was just making up words on the spot and saying, "Oh yeah, say that," and they're reading it and they're like, "What are you on about?" I can see that in the distance. I was like, oh, is that a fight? It is a fight. Aronev's gotten past Exotic. Exotic is going to try and maybe defend, or I think a switchback is on here, because the Ferrari is going to be in a very uncompromised position, but does get himself onto the racing line sharpish, though it's a much better run from the Red Bull out of the final corner into turn 1 they go, and it's not going to be anything for the Red Bull just for now. But yeah, as I said, has a big enough penalty. Interesting place. Oh, he's probably cut the corner a little bit, hasn't he? Yeah, he's cut the corner a little bit. So anyway, yeah, going back to what I was saying. The actors and actresses must have been reading it. And I was like, what are you going on about? I don't understand half of this. They're going for it again. Exotics launched one down the inside. Jesus Christ, he got loads of time or space between them during that corner. He's absolutely flung himself. Out of Luffield there and through Woodker and has put on a good couple of tenths very, very quickly. It's very confusing to me. Indigo is only typing. I mean, he's been out for a good while now. I was expecting him to have said something by now, but he is now. Oh no, he's not. Oh, he is. We'll wait for that and see what happens there. These two are going side by side once again, and the exact same move has happened once again. Hazard has also gone for the exact same move in the exact same manner and has done so rather nicely. Pretty much identical fight. Honestly, there isn't a difference between them. Absolutely hilarious. Jelena having to trail Hazard. Exotic currently trailing Armaleth. Armaleth are currently, what, 4/10? It's 2/10. So this one's a little bit closer, a little bit more. Oh, he's going for the move. That's a rare place to try and go for a move. Don't see many people trying at Village. Loop, a little bit more common because you can sort of sneak it in by sort of basically going in a straight line rather than curving the corner, which just forces the other person to really over curve the corner, and you can slot in. Is it good racing? Yeah. Is it like a legal race? It's perfectly legal, as far as I'm concerned. Indigo. This cookie sitting behind you in DRS on 100% battery and got spun on the straight. Okay, so Indigo believes he was spun on the straight, hence the lack of wing and the penalties probably, and then the retirement that we watched just a moment ago. Shall I tell you what's interesting? Exotic hasn't managed to keep up with Aramleth this time, and is nearly, or he's now over a second between them. Not good for Exotic because that just opens him to Jelena, who has got to, he's got to still cut down a second to get within that penalty time, so long as that penalty time is correct. Yeah, it is 3 seconds. Ooh, little Larry there, Jesus. Arameth within Pablos range, but not within Star Wars because that's interval. That's not get to leader. Otherwise, they'd be incredibly close to one another. And Kresnos still comfortably sitting P2. Hasn't had much of a peep from Star Wars or Pablos. I'll tell you the benefit as well, because Kresnos can be overtaken by Star Wars, Pablos, have 2.5 seconds at the back of Aramleth, and still come out above both of them. He's well aware of that fact. Mr. Cookie's well aware of the fact that he's by himself at the moment. Is doing a bit of a Maxier Verstappen this race, I've got to say. But can you really blame him? If you get the opportunity, why wouldn't you? Oh my god, this book has the Hockenheim ring. Tells you how old it is. But I think it has Adelaide in it as well. So is it like it just does have some historic tracks on it. I don't really know why. Conan, no one's going for an overtake. So let me read you through all the tracks I've got here. So Spa, Mankenkoers, Paul Ricard, Hockenheim, the Nürburgring, the GP circuit, unfortunately, Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, Hungaroring, Zandvoort, Monza, Monaco, Imola, Baku, Sochi, Barcelona, Yas Marina, Sakir, Shanghai, Suzuka, Marina Bay, Interlagos, Montreal, Kota, Mexico City, Adelaide, and Melbourne. That's a good lineup of tracks. If that was the calendar, how many tracks is it? 11, 12, 13, 14. 26. So we can cut 2. So bye Yas Marina. What's Magna Claus? I genuinely haven't ever seen that track before. In the nicest way possible. Oh, it was recent, fairly recently. That's Kimi Raikkonen's 07 car. Doesn't look anything special. We can get rid of Magnicors and we can get rid of Yas Marina quite comfortably. So then, the 20 race calendar out of all those tracks. What are we going for? Spa's got to be on there. Hockenheim Ring, yes. Nürburgring, yes. Oh yeah, Paul Ricard can go. We don't need the 2 French tracks can go. Actually, no, we'll keep Magnicors because France and racing are like pretty historic. So you can't just sort of you know, I do have a hatred towards France because, you know, I'm English, I'm correct. So Spa would have Magna Cors, we'll scrap Paul Ricard, we'll keep Hockenheim in the Nürburgring, we'll keep hold of the Red Bull Ring, Silverstone, the Hungaroring, Zandvoort, Monza, Monaco, Imola, Baku, scrap Sochi, scrap Barcelona. It's just a, actually with the fast bit now, I know the Barcelona's getting scrapped anyway for Madrid. Honestly, I'd rather Barcelona. So we'll keep Barcelona. Yas Marina can go. Sakir can stay. Shanghai. Do I like Shanghai? Oh, we've got overtakes. Hello. Actually, right, okay, we'll focus on this just for a moment because we've got a nice helicopter view as well. I think, you know what, that Alpine can definitely get a good run and go for cops. He is going to, oh, he backs out of it. Right along, oh my God, that's close. Go through cops right on the back of him. Backed out of it at the very, very last second. I think he is going to be able to keep a good run through here. Aramileth as well, I just spotted that. Has managed to get past at Stowe. Nice move. We got a yellow flag in sector 2. That is a stopped car of resurrection. Not quite sure what happened to him there, but he has stopped. He has got himself going once again, though, so nothing to worry about all too much. Anyway, not to worry. Shanghai, does it stay or does it go? Not sure. I mean, this season was all right. Pretty decent. Resurrection left the session as DNF'd. Oh. Clearly wasn't happy about that. So we are now down to 14 drivers of 18. We've lost 4. I'm going to keep Shanghai, you know. Suzuka's got to stay. Suzuka's fantastic. Marina Bay. I love racing in Singapore. The drivers don't, but I like racing in Singapore. Interlagos obviously is staying. Montreal, definitely staying. Great track. What else we got? That's swap to that because definitely gonna have a move. Kota, I actually quite like Kota. So we'll keep that. Mexico City, we'll keep that. Adelaide, I don't think you can even race at Adelaide anymore. I think stuff's been built over it. 208. Let's have a little look. See whether the track is still there. Adelaide. Oh no, you still can race at Adelaide. It was quite a good track, especially as far as sort of street circuits go. I like the fact that it sort of just goes through somebody's back garden at one point. But for a modern day F1 car, I can't see it being ideal. That long back straight definitely interests me. Coming out of turn 9, you have that kink to the right. F1 car could definitely take that flat nowadays. You got that long approach into 11, which is the right-hander hairpin. Could definitely get some overtaking, but lots of 90 degrees at the start. So you got that little 1-2, and then you kink to the left 3, and then it's 94, 95, 96, and then a curve, and then 90, turn 9. It's just a bit meh. You know, 90. Though to be fair, I say that like Baku isn't just made of 90-degree corners as well, and I quite like Baku. Yeah, I'm gonna scrap Adelaide just because there is some sort of tight, twisty sections of it, of which F1 cars nowadays just can't really manage. And you know, we give a pass for Monaco because it's Monaco. Overtakes. Jay Thompson's managed to get past Hazard in quite a decent move out. Oh god, these guys are close. This is fighting. Yeah, so here we go. The Haas running very wide has allowed the Alpine to get through, and the AlphaTauri tried to make a move, didn't quite pull off, but certainly will be feeling a lot more confident now seeing the Haas make such a monumental error. Honestly, I think when you see somebody make a big error, you get definitely a sense of confidence in that probably going to do it again. Was that a nudge from the back? I think that might have been, you know. Yeah, because Blackbone's fallen off a little bit. I think he might have just bumped into the back Hazard there. Whoops. Sorry, that's Jelania. Not quite able to go for a move on Jay Thompson, but not far off, I've got to say. Nevertheless. Oh, should I tell you what track we are missing? Oh, no, we have got Imola. That's not bad. I genuinely think I wouldn't want any other tracks than the ones on there. I can't think of any that I'm like particularly, oh, we're really missing that. If you told me one, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, possibly. But I can't think of any off the top of my head, which is a good thing. We'd have Melbourne to start, then Sakir round 2, as per. I'd then go. Well, we're in the Middle East. What did we have as round 3 this year? Was it Vegas? No, it wasn't. That's towards the end of the year. Generally, I can't remember what we have round 3 now. Round 4, I know we had Suzuka, which was really weird, but I didn't really mind it. It wasn't too bad. Was it Australia we have round 3? I'm losing the plot, right? Anyway, I'd have Melbourne, then Sakir, then Baku, then I'd run through Europe, which is just the vast majority of the racing. I would do, if we were in Baku, I would then go and do Imola, Hungary, Silverstone, Red Bull, any of the pre-summer European races that we usually have. And then I'd slot Hockenheimring post-summer break. I'd put Nürburgring pre-summer break. So Nürburgring has a chance to rain, because we've seen what the Nürburgring in the rain is like, and it is beautiful. Oh my god, we're on the last lap of the race. Jesus, I didn't realise that. That's gone by quickly. Absolutely nothing's happened for the last couple of laps, and it's just all of a sudden, bang, we're on the last lap of the race. Okay, so on the last lap of the race, I thought for a second then, like, Mr. Cookie was just to bounce across the line, and I hadn't said much. Anyway. Oh well. Oh, sorry about that. Right. Final lap of the race for this fight as well, to see how that eventually pans out. Because Jelena and Jay Thompson, 2 drivers, no penalties. So definitely something that actually means... sorry, a fight that actually means something. We have got a couple of fights, but the drivers have sort of got penalties. 8 seconds of Star Wars Beast. Jesus, not good. Mr. Cookie as well, coming up on back markers, which is something you never really like to see. Of which not even last place. Our Henson, second to last. He's right behind. Who's just beginning to ghost, but I don't think is going to be too much of a concern. So this man started P2, was in P1 by the time we got to this point of the track on the first lap, and has remained here for the entire time since. Absolutely fantastic race from Mr. Cookie, and I've got to say, he wholeheartedly deserves to come round the final club one more time to come across and win his home race. Mr. Cookie wins at Silverstone in the Great British Isles. Kresnos will be the next man to come through much later, 11 seconds later in fact. Star Wars Beast next man through, but will not finish P3 as far as I do believe Arameleth will take that position off of him. Pablos though will not improve and Exotic will swap, quite a bit of swapping going on. Exotic falls down to P8, Pablos to P6, Jelena's P7, Blackburn P8 has a P9, and Cadet, then Kadem, then our Henson, and then Neeson. So Kadem will be the last man through. Oh, my cough is still very prevalent. But there we go. That was the race. Mr. Cookie absolutely dominating the British Grand Prix. Not the sprint race, though. I mean, he did start from right at the back, so it's not exactly the easiest thing to do now, is it? Anyway, we'll just wait for Kadem to come across the line. He's got a minute 45, also known as plenty of time. Really decent decent race for especially towards the start. The start of the race, really, really good. Loads and loads of fighting. Had a really good fight for first, second, third. Although Mr. Cookie just sort of etched in front of everybody, it was only a short mistake away from sort of blowing the whole thing wide open. Mr. Cookie not finishing in the lead, but yeah, didn't quite finish that way, did it? But it's not the end of the world. Congratulations to all three podium finishers. I thought they drove absolutely fantastic races. The lot of them should be very, very deserving of their winnings. I still don't know if we have any music nowadays. Still haven't fixed that. No, no, we don't have any music. I just actually put my headphones on for the first time, and no, it's just lots of fans cheering, which does make it look a little bit weird, but that's not the end of the world. Mr. Cookie there wins for the Mercedes team and picks up a P2 in the sprint race. Star Wars Beast in P2 and Kresnos P3. Amaleth in P4. Oh no, this is the total standings, isn't it? This isn't race results. Sorry. So Mr. Cookie wins the British Grand Prix with Kresnos in P2, Amaleth in P3, and Star Wars Beast P4, Jay Thompson P5, Pablos P6, Jelena P7, Exotic P8, Blackbone P9, Hazard P10, Cadet P11, Caden P12, Arhenson P13, Nissam P14, Resurrection P15, Indigo P16, Boney in P17, and Stinky Pinky in P18 with P15 and below not finishing. Don't worry about these because our point system is different, so they will probably all be wrong, except for Mr. Cookie. Mr. Cookie is by far and away top step of the podium. So, with that, I'd like to say thank you all very, very much for watching. I have been the Characteristics. Thank you, and good night.